Okay, first, throughout this tutorial I'm going to be referring to 1 through 6 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The fourth column is highlighted in a different color because that's the most important column and we'll be referring to it later on. It's the spawn column. As the title of this video describes, this is going to be explaining what decides where a sword lands. Alright, the first attack we're going to be looking at is a basic 2x3 and 2x2 multiplied by 3, or a triple. Now, the first sword in the combo is going to be the 2-3, and the second sword will be the 2-2. Now, as you probably noticed, unless it's absolutely forced there, a single sword will never end up in the fourth column, which is how you create an insta-kill. So, the first part is going to be deciding where the 2-3 will land. It will either land in the 1-2 column, the 2-3 column, or the 5-6 column. As you see, it never includes the fourth column because the computer will absolutely try not to make a sword land in the fourth if at all possible. Now, if it lands in the 5-6 column, the second sword will end up in either the 1-2 or the 2-3. Now, say the first sword lands in the 1-2 column, then the only possible option would be for it to end up in the 5-6. Now, say the first sword ends up in the 2-3, then the only possible option is the 5-6 again. Now, what my attack ended up doing is the first sword ending up in the 2-3, and the second sword in the 5-6. Also, the only way, as you see here, another 2x sword cannot physically fit in there because there's only the 1 and the 4. So even if you made a sword, it would be completely disregarded in the attack. But say it ended up in the 1 and 2, 1-2 and the 5-6, I mean, then the third sword would end up in the 3-4. Also, this brings up the issue of insta-kill percentage success rate. As you can see, there's a total of 4 different outcomes for the 2xn swords to hit, and 2 of them result in an option, or the ability of a third 2xn sword to actually even land. So that makes the percentage success rate of a 3 2xn insta-kill 50%. Okay, now the next attack we're going to be looking at is a tripled 3x3 and then bingoed 2x2. Now, the computer assigns where the sword goes in the order in which they appear in the combo. So first, the computer will decide where the 3x3 goes. And there's only one possible area for it to put the 3x3 without it landing in the 4. Then, after that, it will assign the 2x2, which will go in the 5-6. The attack will look something like this. But that isn't exactly all the attack, but you get the basic idea. Also, this shows why the order in which you put your attacks in your combo really affects your percentage of chance of getting an insta-kill. This, when you put the 3xn before the 2xn, has a 0% chance of it landing in the 4. Okay, the next attack we're going to be looking at is a triple 2x2 and then bingoed 3x3. Now, the first sword the computer is going to place is the 2xn. It will either land in the 1-2 column, the 2-3 column, or the 5-6 column. If it lands in the 5-6 column, then the 3xn will be forced into the 1-2-3. If the 2xn lands in the 1-2 column, then the 3x will land in the either 3-4-5 or 4-5-6, both resulting in insta-kills. If the 2xn lands in the 3-4 column, I mean the 2-3 column, then the 3xn will land in the 4-5-6, also resulting in insta-kill. The attack which I did resulted in this. Also, one thing more in which I think I should point out is the insta-kill percentage success rate for this attack. The percentage success rate is 67%. Okay, now the last type of attack we're going to be looking at is the 3xn sword attack. Now, you can't exactly tell that there's a broken yellow breaker under that red breaker, but what this will result in is a doubled 3x3 and a tripled 3x3. Now, the first 3xn, which will end up being a 3x6, will land in the 1-2-3, because that is the only place it can land without being in the 4-5-6. Then the second 3xn, which is a 3x9, will be in the 4-5-6. As you can tell, that's how this attack ended up. Now, this isn't exactly a large attack, but it does the job.